Hello everybody, so today we're going to do a video about coon skinning. We've got a coon over there that we caught today, and nice big one. We're going to skin it out, show you how we do it, and before we do I want to show you our table here and its features per se. So first is the vice grip on the bench. It's attached to a steel plate or welded here, and the point of that is to hold their tail in here so that way they hang over the edge of the table, and you can skin them or get them started skinning without having to try to just do it laying on the table. Works a lot better that way. Here we've got our tail stripper. This is something we bought. It's a great tool. You'll see that later. And so that's pretty much all about the table. Yeah. So let's get this guy up there and show you. So the first thing we do is we always check for burrs. The cone, there's probably not going to be any this year or this time of year because there's snow on the ground. So excuse me. Just taking comb out. This is just a dog comb. I guess there was a little. Maybe that was just from the floor here in the shop. Okay, so there's nothing. So then, it's a big one. So then what we do is just clamp them in the tail, or the vice grips. The tail of the vice grips, like that. So it hangs about there on the table. Then what you're going to do is you're going to sort of roll the foot inwards a slight bit, and you're going to take your knife and start and go from the instep. Excuse me. The instep here, run down to the knee, and then over underneath of his Rocky Mountain oysters here. And then from there you're going to go around his vent on both, and then do the same for the other side here around his vent, and then we'll go up the tail. So I'll show you here. The knife blade might be dull. This one's sharp. So once I hit the cut, the blade's a little bit dull, but I can fix that. So once we hit the knee, then you head over, straight on over underneath here, and just don't want to cut into there. That probably wouldn't smell too good. And get to about the middle or so. We'll go to the other side. And, I need the blade. Okay. So, and that's the other thing, is that using these razor blades is really nice because you can just have a sharp blade whenever you need one. So, once again, just down to the knee, and then straight over, and then you complete the cut on the second one. And usually I'll actually go just cut a little bit on the belly part right now. It's just, I don't know, it's just a habit, because I'll do a little bit more of that later. Then what you do is you go around here all the way up to the vent. Okay, excuse me. And the other side. Got some pretty tough leather. And just complete the cut all the way around. Next thing I do is I begin to skin back here this fur from the leg, and with the knife I go back, I'd say about maybe a little farther, maybe about that far. This one I might have to go farther because he's big. And then you take a rod. This is just a stainless steel rod that's beveled on the end, and we beveled it so that way you can take it here between the skin and the leg, and you poke it through and guide it out. Sorry, let me try to get that in the camera. Guide it out It should come right there. See? And then you give it a pull. And this one's going to be a bit harder because it's a big one. Okay.
Might spin back some more.
If I work it back and forth. I guess I will have to skin back. If they're smaller, then they'll actually just usually pop right out. But, so, take your rod, pull out, up to the foot. Then all you do is you take your knife, go on the inside, and cut the leg off. And it doesn't matter if you leave some fur here. It's going to be cut off on the board anyway. So, same thing on the other side. So this is skinned out. Sorry. Okay. So, see if I can do this so you can see. So go there. Just kind of guide it along the skin, and it'll follow, or it'll go right down, right along the skin, and then push hard.
Sure it will.
Well, it's just kind of got to get a better angle. There we go. Give it a pull. You have to cut some more. See, it's just so big. Okay. Let's see here. Oh, man. Sorry, I gotta go from this.
He's a big boy.
He is a big one. Try that. Yep, that'll do. So I always go from this way because then you get maximum leverage. Okay, and that's far enough there. You don't have to go. That's a little lower than I'd usually go, but it should come out okay.
Legs aren't kept anyway.
They only keep the back. So next we're going to go up the tail. So if you want to move around. And I just start right in the center. And depending on the size, once again, depends on how far you'll have to go. I usually just, on a small one, I would probably go up, I would say, farther maybe. Probably about, on a small one, probably about that far is all I would go. Because this one's a bigger one, that's going to make it more difficult. So I will try going a little bit further. And then simply pull it apart so you can skin carefully, skin the tail off the bone partially. Get it started. Okay. And then take the rod and poke it through the tail. Now this is going to be a bit difficult. Here, let's go from the other side. I might have to try to skin a little bit under there. It's pretty tough. There, let's try that. Ooh. Ouch. Okay, I'm through. So then you just kind of pull back, forward, and backward. And it's probably not going to be enough, but we're going to try it. So we'll transfer it over to the The stripper, I always grab it with my middle finger, and then when I release it, I've got a good hold. Then I can grab the tail to put him in the stripper. So,
He's just a big one.
he is
A hog.
It's hard to work with it. They're normally not this hard. Okay, so it'll stay, and this is what we do for the winch, which I'll show you in a minute. It's just a dog chain, and you just make a slip knot by passing it through itself, and you put that over their feet, and then you do one per foot, and then we'll show you why we do that in a minute, or you'll see why we do that at least. I always like to get it below the fur, so that way the fur kind of acts as a stop. Okay, now we have a piece of rebar here, short piece of rebar, and that goes in here and gives us a bit of an extension on this, because this has never been enough to pry this tail out, or to pry a tail out. So just do that and kind of work it back and forth, and this one might be not ready yet. Yeah, I'm going to have to go up the tail a little bit more. So I'm going to transfer it back over the bench. Like I say, this normally wouldn't be so bad, but since he's just so big. So I'll just go up the tail a little bit more, right up the center, like I was before. The bigger hair, the harder the skin. Hey, nice of the pill. True. This is going to be a big one. Okay. So, I'll go back over here. So we'll get this reattached. Well, we'll make sure that this is going here. Yeah, okay. So, reattach this here. And I always strip it to about here or so when it's down to pretty much just bone, because you can see where I started to skin it. Here, it's covered in fat, but now it's starting to come out just bone and meat, just like that.
Tendons.
And yeah,
is it worth it to have one of these?
Yes. And once I get there, I know it's going to skin out, and so I don't have to bring it back to the bench. So then we go over here and hook it up to the winch. So this is a foot pedal I made, but that's not necessary. But all it is just well, it's homemade. You can see these called skinning machine or deer skinning machine. It's basically just a truck winch, and it goes up.
That's an ATV winch.
Or an ATV winch, sorry. Excuse me. Goes up over 2 pulleys and then down. And so then when the winch goes, when the winch tightens up, then it just pulls the coon up, and I'll show you how that in a second. So, and so we just connect this here, and we connect it there so that way when we strip the tail, we can just let it swing over, and it's already hooked up. We don't have to try to lift it on there. Okay, so I always just bring it up a bit so I can get his legs caught, and then get him inside the bucket. The bucket there is just to catch blood. Another thing is I usually have a seat to sit on.
Sure.
Oh yeah, it's over there. And it's real good to have a seat just because it gives you the freedom to work with both your hands and your feet, which is nice if you have a foot pedal. That really can help. So the next thing I do is I skin more on the belly, and I'll skin it down. If it's a male, I'll skin all the way past its penis and cut that off. Down to here, and then you just cut this off like that. So, and that's all for the belly on a male. On a female, I just skin it down to there, and that would be that. So let me go to the back, and I just like to skin down the legs a little ways, just so I can get down to the tail, and I'll show you why. Get down a little ways. You really want to cut this right here. This sort of get it down to this level here, because otherwise it really takes a lot of power of the winch to get it to haul her up. So something I found out over the years. Next thing you're going to do is, with these vice grips, what we have is there's a plate on the top and a plate on the bottom, and there's 2 bars on the bottom and 1 bar on the top, and they nestle together. Can't exactly, I don't know if you can see that or not.
No, but you can.
So it's 2 bars and like this, and the idea is to pinch the fur very tightly so it won't come out, rather than just having 2 flat pieces where it could slip out. And I think I just got fat in my boot.
In your boot?
In my boot, I did.
Beautiful. Well, don't go digging for it.
Well, I'm not going to leave it.
Great.
Okay. So what we do is we just take and roll the fur a couple times. Put it in there. That makes it a lot stronger as well. Clamp it down nice and tight, especially for a big one. And next one. No, it's not single tight, but. And then you're just going to haul them up. So it's going to get pretty loud. Usually you don't have to cut it all, but this one might be just so big. Okay, so before I get there, I want to show you something about the legs. When I first started skinning coons, I would skin down to here, and then I would cut this meat, and then pull the leg out. Oh, I got some blood. But that was horribly inefficient. And it wasn't until later that I figured that, but we found out that you could go farther up, and it would pull the legs out just the same, but it would prevent you from having to do all that cutting. And I just didn't think at first that the winch would take it, so. But it will. So the other thing is you can take a paper towel and shove it up where the blood is if you don't like blood. But I don't really care. So that's. Whoa. Okay, so I'll have to reclamp that here quick, and then I'll show you what I was going to show you. Okay. So what I was going to show you is, this is where I stop. You can see where the leg is actually coming out, and there should be a slight indentation right here. I don't know if you can see that. And you should be able to push your finger, even with the big one, right through. When on the left side. And there we go. And then I always stand up for this because it takes a lot of oomph. You just pull up with your right hand and push with your left hand. It's normally not this much work, but big one.
Big one.
Oh, that's fine right there. So. Oh. Okay, right about there. So, another trick that I learned on the legs, which I'll show you in a minute, so I don't cut those off yet. That's the first part of the trick. So now I just start skinning till I hit the ears.
Well, on this one, you got to remember too, we gotta.
Our skinning machine's a little short. We should extend it because on big ones you can't go all the way. So, and I can just keep going. But so now, okay, here's where I cut off the legs. When they're tight like this, because then all you do is you just give them. Sometimes they'll go with just one nice cut. Okay, so so now that we got the legs cut off, we can just keep skinning. And I'm at the top now, so I'm going to have to stop with the winch, but I just pull it now. Normally, if they're smaller, you can go all the way up with the winch. So I skin out, and when you hit the eyes here, just cut and keep cutting until you get through. And then should be the jaw here. Same on this side. So now if it's a big one, I always cut the lip off first because that makes the other part easier. And the old saying is you can leave them a beard like this, doesn't matter. So some bleeding, but it doesn't matter. Just wipe that off at the end a little bit. And cut off the nose. And we're done. Especially if they're bleeding, you want to get them off so they don't bleed on the fur. And so just throw it out in the carcass stubby, wipe this off with a paper towel, and send her over to Paul the flesher.
Hi, Paul.
Hi. Alrighty. Cool.